Hi, my name is Hannah. This is my channel, Happy to Save with Hannah. On my channel, I usually do savings challenges to save money. If you've been here before, you've seen my videos. Today, this video is it's probably the hardest one I'm going to make, but I wanted to share my journey with others, and hopefully it can help, or just to kind of let people know some of the things I've been through. With Mother's Day coming up, I've seen some challenges come out, and this one I saw and I really appreciated. And this savings challenge was put together by Tobin Budgets, EMT Dispatcher on a Budget, It Is Not Too Late, and Grammy's Journey and more. But this challenge, the reason I really appreciated that they did this, it says they're sending love to all who, and it said are mothers, are wishing to be mothers, lost mothers, have strained mother-child relationships, have chosen not to be mothers, mother figures, mothers who have lost children, pet mothers, and adoptive mothers, and it says expecting single and stepmothers. So I'm going to go over why I appreciate this so much in just a minute, but I have filmed my videos already for my Monday and Tuesday videos, and I was getting ready to do some of my prep for my other videos. I thought I would come in and film this so I can kind of, like I said, explain why I appreciate this so much. Back in 2016, and I think what I'll also do while I'm doing this video, I'll color some of this so that y'all aren't just looking at it, a page. But I'm going to color in some of my green part and I'm going to do my, when I do my challenges, I'll do the flowers. Back in 2016, in November 2016, in Veterans Day, my husband and I found out we were expecting our first baby. We were so excited. And I was having a great pregnancy. Everything was going great. Really well. I mean, I didn't have any, I enjoyed being pregnant. I really felt great. Around the 20 weeks, when you usually, you go to get checked, we found out that we were having a boy, and everything was perfect. Everything was great with him. So we decided to name him Curtis. My mother's dad was named Curtis, and my granddad, and on my dad's side, my great uncle was named Curtis, and then my husband's dad had a brother that passed away when he was 3, and his name was Curtis. And then also my mother-in-law, which was my husband's mother, she also had a cousin named Curtis. So we decided to name him Curtis. So like I said, pregnancy was great. Around 32, 33 weeks, I noticed that I was not feeling him move as much as I had before. So I went to the doctor, and I remember the day I went to the doctor, they were closing up, and they said they couldn't do an ultrasound, so I needed to go to the hospital. So I went to the hospital, and they were trying to listen for the heartbeat, and they couldn't find the heartbeat. So at about 33 weeks pregnant, he had passed away. Now, I don't know if any of y'all have experienced, you definitely know, but if you've had a loved one, I don't know if people realize what a stillbirth is, but if you're more than 20 weeks pregnant when your baby dies, you do have to deliver the baby. So you go through labor, and you deliver the baby like you would if the baby was still alive. But when your baby, of course, when you deliver the baby, they've passed away. Like I said, I went through labor, and I delivered and had Curtis, and he was perfect. There was nothing that would have caused him to pass away. There was nothing genetic or anything like that. Everything was clear. The doctor told me he thinks it was probably a knot in the umbilical cord. So that was, that's traumatic. So I don't talk about it a lot. I probably won't bring it up again on my channel, other than maybe when I do this this challenge later when I'm finishing it. Like I said, I'm just getting some of this colored in today. So anyway, unfortunately we lost Curtis. About 6 weeks after that, my mom got diagnosed with cancer, and that was rough. she had something they call, or not, she had multiple myeloma. It's a blood cancer. So 6 weeks after I had Curtis, she was diagnosed with cancer. She went through treatments, and she had a stem cell transplant and she was diagnosed, it was around July 2017. And Curtis was born June 6th of 2017. So she had, in February of 2018, she had a stem cell transplant. And she did go into, I don't know if it was complete remission, but what they consider remission. So she went into remission in February of 2018. In April of 2018, I got pregnant for the second time. And when I went to the doctor the first time, they wanted to wait and do a ultrasound until I was a little bit further along. So I went in about 9 weeks for my first ultrasound, and they saw that there was no heartbeat. So I had lost our second baby. The doctor told me that he thought I had probably lost the baby within like the day before I went to the appointment. So then we lost our second baby. And I don't want to tell all this, just to tell you all this stuff that I've been through, but it's a lot. And I just kind of, like I said, want to help. If there's anybody out there that, you know, I want you to know that I understand what you're going through. And it's hard, but like I said, I don't talk about this really ever. This is very strange for me to get on here and talk about all this, but I felt like I wanted everybody to kind of know my background, especially if you've been watching videos and I haven't mentioned kids. That's one of the reasons. So after the miscarriage, that fall, so it would have been the fall of the next year, in January of 2019. So I lost my second baby almost a year to the day that I lost Curtis. And then in January of 2019, my father-in-law was diagnosed with cancer. 2 months after that, he passed away. So he didn't live too much longer after. I mean, he was in the hospital getting treatment, and I believe he got pneumonia. Yeah, and he passed away. Then, and this does not have to do with Mother's Day, but I just kind of, like I said, want to give y'all a background. Then in the summer or fall of 2019, my mama, her cancer relapsed. And unfortunately, she passed away in April of 2020, and the COVID was going on before she passed away, and we were not able to visit her as much. I was also at that time working at a pharmacy, and I didn't want to give her anything. We had no idea she was that close to dying. But she did pass away April 24th of 2020. 3 months after that, my sister, who had just turned 40, she had a heart attack. I don't know if they consider it like a full-blown heart attack, but her husband took her to the hospital, and while she was there, I guess she kind of went into cardiac arrest, or like I said, it's not considered like a full-blown heart attack, but she did have to stay in the hospital for 2 days, and there was damage to her heart, and it was not related to anything to do with her arteries being clogged or anything like that. She was just, they said that there was a spasm or something that caused it. But anyway, she was in the hospital for 2 days by herself on the COVID floor. She didn't have COVID, and we couldn't visit her. So thankfully she's doing great now, and she only had to stay there for a couple of days. But that was another scary thing that happened. So like I said, she's doing great now. Then the next year in 2021, my sister-in-law and mother-in-law both were hospitalized with COVID. Thankfully, my husband's sister was fine, and she recovered. My mother-in-law, she passed away from COVID in September of 2021. So we have had a lot of sickness and death in our families these past, 7 years. So it's, we've had a rough time. I mean, we're doing a lot better now, but you know, it definitely affected us. But I wanted to come on mainly to talk about the babies that passed away. And like I said, we did get to meet Curtis. He wasn't, you know, he wasn't alive, but I did get to hold him. We got to meet him. And Bereaved Mother's Day is on May 4th. It's always the first Sunday in May. And it was founded by, her name was Carly Marie Dudley. She's from Australia. She had a stillborn son named Christian. So that's how that got started. So, like I said, I really appreciate these ladies for making this challenge, because I feel like it gave me an opportunity to kind of open up about me and what all we've been through. But yeah, and I was just getting this prep to use later in the week for around Mother's Day. But yeah, if you know, and if you ever, I do have my email on my page. If you ever feel like writing, or if you've lost babies and want to just talk to me, I'm here. But yeah, I just, like I said again, visit these ladies and you know, let them know that if you have lost babies, and or if you haven't, that you appreciate that they've included all mothers and even people that are mother figures. And it's like I said, people that have chosen not to be mothers. Just because you don't see someone's children doesn't mean they're not a mother. But anyway, just wanted to kind of tell y'all my story. But I appreciate you watching. I know this wasn't a typical video and it's not a savings video, but I felt like I needed to kind of make this to give everybody a background and let y'all know about me. But appreciate you watching, and I'll see y'all back for one of my regular videos next time. Bye, y'all.